Hi, welcome to Gabbing with Girlfriends. And we're going to be gabbing with Gabby Hughes today. And I'm excited because we haven't gabbed forever, either either on the podcast or in
In
person.
person, yeah.
Why? Where does the time go?
I don't know, but it's going way too fast.
But I'm sure you're always away. Are you?
No, I haven't been away in a month or so. I like to be away once a month,
Uh, just like a period.
and it's not happened this month. So
Was the last place you went to something to do with your niece?
yeah, I went for her birthday, and that was at the beginning of March. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm
geez.
due.
You're
I'm
over.
due.
You are due. So, other than starting to get restless now because you've not been away, how are you? All good?
All good. No complaints.
All good because your husband's away. My husband's away. My husband's gone away for a funeral though.
Oh, that's sad.
But did you know in England, I know you know this, but in America, I don't know how long it normally takes once somebody passes away until they have a funeral. Isn't it? I mean, I know what it is if you're Jewish, it's 2 days. But if you're not Jewish, what is it normally in America? 5 days? Four
It
days?
depends. It depends. Are you going to be buried or are you going to be cremated? If you're cremated, you can have it whenever you want. You can wait a year, you can wait 2 years. We're having my parents' funeral May 22nd. My mother's been gone for 2 years. So it's like you have time because if you're cremated, you can wait for everyone to be available, you know?
In England, no matter what, unless it's religion specific, but no matter what, it seems like it's kind of 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's normal. I think that's normal for most people that I know.
Year two, or is it an English thing? Oh,
Yeah, no, I don't think it's an English thing. I mean, like I said, in my experience, it's just dependent on whether the person was cremated or not. If they're not, that bumps up your time frame.
so yeah, my husband's gone too, and but you know what I had in my yard last night?
What?
A bobcat. I have to send you the video.
Oh, how cool is that?
It's really
Gorgeous.
cool. It's
Yeah.
so gorgeous. But what was really scary about it is, like, of all the places where there's cameras, like it would pick up if it was someplace else, but it was in the same spot where there was a deer 2 hours before. The deer would not win. And so that was really freaked me out that they were in the same spot and not in any other spot because I would have seen that. So it was
Yeah.
so weird, but it was like exactly a 2 hour time difference that I wonder if the bobcat was hunting and
Oh, I'm sure.
smelled and knew and
Smelled it. Yeah, I'm sure.
scary,
Yeah.
scary for the little animals, scary for the big animals. But we had here, not at my house, but down the road, a something called a I forgot. I just went blank. A crane, something crane, but it's like nothing you've ever seen before. I had never seen it before, and it was so cool. I can't even tell you, but I'm going to tell you what it was called. It was called I just can't. And then in the backyard the other day, there was a porcupine.
Oh, how adorable.
They are adorable, but they're scary for dogs too. I know two
Yeah.
different people that have had their dogs went to smell them in the bushes.
Oh, no, no,
Big
no.
mistake. Big, big.
Big mistake. Yeah.
Okay, this
Yeah.
thing is called a sandhill crane.
Oh, I've heard of that. I've
Yeah,
heard of a
I had
sand
never heard of it.
parade.
Terry said he had heard of them too.
I've
They're
heard of them.
stunning. I mean, they're so beautiful, and they mate for life. I love that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I know it's really cool. Really, really, really cool.
That's longer than most people can be married sometimes.
Most of the time. So have you been by any of the fire areas yet?
No, I have no reason to go there. I mean, why would they want me up there? I don't live there, so there's no
No,
reason
I
to
just didn't
go.
know if you happen to be in the Palisades
No,
or
no.
anywhere around there.
Our doctor was in the Palisades, but she had to find a new office, so she's in Santa Monica now. So,
I've been to LA a handful of times since the fire, but I'm always just in and out. I go in to do what I need to do and I leave, and usually it's something with the grandkids, which isn't that far from Altadena. And I've not been by the either of the fire locations yet, but I've heard from people that have been by both. It is just breathtaking still.
I wouldn't want to go. Too depressing, too many. noxious fumes in the air, too much shit you could breathe in. I mean, I just wouldn't. And also, I feel like since I don't live there, it would be voyeuristic of me.
Me too.
And I
Me
don't need to be
total.
in somebody else's pain,
Yeah,
okay?
totally.
I
Those, I
wouldn't.
think, people I'm talking about had to, for whatever
Right, because
reason
they
they
live
had to.
there, right. But I mean, for me, if my house burned down, I don't need people coming by to gawk at it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. No, I'm totally with you, and voyeuristic is a really good word for it because that's just what it is. It
Yeah,
is.
it's disgusting.
Um, and do you have any summer vacations planned? Speaking of Anzi wanting to get away?
Well, hopefully I'm going to Copenhagen the first week in June. I hope that happens.
Oh,
That's what I'm trying to make happen.
is
I
that a
don't
work?
have I don't have my ticket yet, but
Is
that's
it a
my
Glenn
plan.
thing or just a you and a girlfriend thing?
He's working there, so I'm tagging along.
That's a vacation.
Yeah, it is a vacation because
Yeah,
while he's working all day, I'm bopping
yeah,
around seeing the
yeah.
sights.
And does anybody else that he works with, do they have a partner that you like?
Yes,
That they
but
may or may not be there?
yeah, and if they aren't, that's fine with
Mhm.
me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
happy by myself.
yeah. No, I know you're a loner like me,
Yeah,
like
I
me.
like to, I don't want to have to, I don't know.
It
I
was
don't want to
really,
have to babysit anyone or do what they want to do. I want to do
I'm the
what I want to
same.
do.
It's like when I want somebody to come visit me, I have to really think, do I have to entertain this person? I mean, I'm happy to take them to dinner and I'm happy to show them 2 sites over a few day period, but when you think you have to get up in the morning, you have to talk and you have to, make niceties, it's like, that's no, that's not a vacation.
The other thing is, I do know someone that lives there and she's very nice. And last year when I went, we did spend a day together and that was fun because she took me around to places in Copenhagen that she likes. And so that was fun for me.
Oh, yeah,
But
that's nice.
I wasn't staying with her.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
has her own home there. I didn't have to do anything. She did me a favor by taking me to places that I wanted to see and she did me a favor. So that's cool.
yeah, no, that's perfect.
So
That's
that's
perfect.
nice. That's one day,
Yeah,
right? But
that's perfect.
every day, if I had to wake up, no.
No, me too, I'm with you. And what else do I have for you? So your days, I kind of know the answer to this even before our little chat before we started recording, but your days start with coffee. And if you don't have coffee, first thing, can you do anything else?
Nope. I'm done. I'm out. It's like I was telling my sister not that long ago. Look, I used to get up in the morning early, walk the dog for a good hour, hour and a half, come home, have my coffee, get going. That was on the weekend, get going. Now I wake
Mhm.
up. There better be a good hour to an hour and a half where I'm laying with my legs out in front of me and the coffee cup next to me and the dog isn't getting walked and I can barely move and my pajamas are on all day unless I have to go out, and that's begrudgingly, you
Oh,
know?
no, I get it. I wake up in the morning. Do you play Wordle? Have I ever asked?
No, I don't play anything.
So I wake up in the morning and I will look at my phone, which I shouldn't do before my coffee because sometimes I will answer an email, which is always ends up being obvious that I answered it pre-coffee because I'm either bitchy or I'm emailing about something totally irrelevant to what they emailed me about or something. It's always obvious that caffeine should have been there first. But I will wake up and I'll definitely play Wordle, sometimes connections, and then I get up and have my coffee.
Oh, I can't do anything. I got to have coffee and then I have to face, doing my job. So if that's not happening unless I have the coffee in me.
Well, that I get. That I do get.
Yeah.
To start your
Like
day.
I got a time limit, I got a time limit. So I got to start at 9. So all my coffee better be in me and ready to rumble by then.
So how many cups of coffee do you have by 9?
Well, I make a 4-cup press,
Yeah.
so that's what I
You
drink.
don't drink all that by 9.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. And then I'm done.
Oh, for the day. That's it.
Then I'm done for the day.
Oh, see, I
And
couldn't have that much all at one time. It'd make me I think it would make me my stomach mad. Like, I could drink
I'm sure it's messed me up.
what?
I'm sure it's messed me up. I
Oh,
mean,
no, I'm sure.
I'm
I'm
sure my insides are fucked up. So
no, I'm sure that's a lot. That's a lot of coffee. Okay, so should I ask you some questions that we've had in? Let's
yes,
build up
please.
on
I
doing
love
that.
questions.
Okay, if you could have named yourself, would you name yourself what your parents named you, or what would it be?
I'm totally fine with what my parents named me.
And
Like I would have been fine with that 100%.
yeah, I get that. I'm not really so fine with Gloria. That's quite because it's a really old-fashioned name, and I don't mind the old-fashioned part, but you can always tell, when somebody says, "Oh, Gloria's coming," you know that that person, if they don't know me, well, they're gonna know I'm old before I get there. Do you
Okay,
know
I
what
get where
I
you're
mean?
coming from. Yeah.
Right.
So once when I was little, so my nickname was Mousy, and my grandmother gave me that name. And I said to her once, "Why did you call me Mousy?" And she goes, "Oh, I didn't like your name." And I said, "Well, really? Then what would you have wanted to be me to be named?" And she said, "Oh, I don't know." And I know this was off the cuff, but she just was like, "Oh, I don't know, something really nice like Maureen." And I thought to myself, I ain't no Maureen, okay? Let's
Yeah,
be
same
clear.
sort of thing. Yeah, that's exactly the
I
same.
am no Maureen. That's just, I'm scared to know what would have happened to me if I'd had that name.
But it's really funny because the name I would have chosen my whole life as a little girl, I thought, "Oh, I really like this name." Now at my age, I think my answer wouldn't be this, but since as a child I always thought this, would have been Angela.
Oh,
I
I
just like
like
the
that
name.
name.
Me too.
I think Angela's a good name, and I think you would have made a great Angela. You
Hmm.
know, you would. When I was in kindergarten, my middle name's Lynn. I went through a stage where I only wanted to be called Lynn. So I get it. You know, you go through these stages of things. I get Angela.
So when Biff was so many weeks old, 3 weeks old or something, like, that sounds really young, but when he was 2 months, no, he was young. It was his first road trip. We were in Dallas, and Ronnie was the singer, and he's named after his dad, so he's a Terrence, really. But he was lying on the bed, and he was doing kind of like these sort of boxing movements, and so Ronnie said, "Ooh, Biff, bam," making those. If you ask Terry, he'll tell you it was a different Biff got his name differently, but that's really how Biff got
That's
his.
how it is. Oh, that's nice.
But so growing up, I always said to Biff, "You know what? Biff's not your real name. It's a nickname. And at some point, you can tell me that you don't want to be called Biff anymore. And I get it. I get it. So
Yeah.
someday you just may find that you're too old for that, or it doesn't suit you, or you just don't like it. No hard feelings." So we were driving back from school one day, and the school run, and two of his friends were in the car, and he said, how you always say I don't have to be called Biff anymore?" I said, my heart dropped. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how old he was, maybe 7. I'm at that point, I don't want to be called Biff.
I've reached that stage.
Yeah, I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, can I be called Rupert instead?" Because his friend that did the carpool with us, one was Adrian and one was Rupert. He wanted to be called Rupert. He said, "Can I be called Rupert instead?" And I said, "No, you're either your real name or you're Biff. There's no Rupert, there's no
We're not
Adrian, there's
making
no
shit
Paul,
up.
there's
Yeah.
no nothing." It's it's definitely
Oh,
not
that's
Rupert.
yeah.
In my opinion, it was slightly worse than Biff. Um, so anyway, so that's the name question. Okay, next. I think we may have had this before, but anyway, who's your favorite comedian? Have we had this?
We've had that before, and I have more than one. I think we talked about this. Um, Chris Rock,
Yeah, me
Chelsea
too.
Handler, um, what's his face, Ricky Gervais,
Love, love, love.
um,
That's my favorite.
all of the, you know, those guys. Glenn and I went to see Kevin Nealon last month, and he was hilarious.
He's very funny.
Basically, you know, Norm Macdonald, rest in peace. We saw him too. Like all those Saturday Night Live guys and gals are really pretty damn funny. You know, on their own.
Yeah, yeah, nothing to do with the show.
Comedy. They're good.
I love Dave Chappelle. I love him. He's probably my favorite's probably Ricky Gervais than Dave Chappelle. But I recently, on one of my road trips, I listen to a lot of comedy things when I'm on the road. And I was just like browsing while I'm driving, and this guy came on and he had a bit in his show that was so funny. So I had to keep listening to him. I kept finding other shows of his during this road trip. His name's Josh Wolf. Some of his things not so funny, and it's kind of to me, it's kind of not in a Jeff Foxworthy way, who I don't like, but it's kind of a lot of it's almost redneck humor,
I was going
but
to say
funny.
Jeff
Yeah,
Foxbury is pretty rednecky.
yeah, not like that. I can't really explain it, but what he does that's my favorite thing is he actually plays guitar quite well and he sings quite well. And he takes songs that are classic songs that we all know, but he puts his own words to it. And
Okay.
it's usually quite rude and always funny. Usually rude, always funny, and very clever. That's my favorite part of his show. When I went to see him, I actually went to see him a couple weeks ago, and his one of his support acts was his son, who I don't like early 20s, who was very funny too. And I loved the fact that it was his son. That was sweet. And then after his son, there was this guy that he was introduced from as coming from a heavy metal band and whatever, whatever. So he's the bass player in the band Five Finger Death Punch that does this as just when he's off the road. And he was very funny. It was a great night. And Josh Wolf was so funny that night. So yeah, it was good.
There was a guy that opened for Kevin Nealon that was on that show Parks and Recreation, and I can't remember his name, but he was hilarious.
I've never
And
seen that.
then Arsenio Hall is funny too. He's very funny.
He's funny.
I
Yeah,
wish he would go back on the road so I
yeah.
could go see him.
I've seen him live, and he's funny.
Amy Schumer used to be funny until she had the kid, and now all she does is like mom jokes, and I just don't care. I want her to.
Yeah,
I
me
thought
too. Me
she
too.
was funnier when she was talking about being single and trying to date and just
Yeah,
life being a woman.
yeah,
Now it's all her body that she's had a kid or mothers and other. I
yeah,
don't care. I don't
yeah.
care.
And do you know what? That seems so silly to me. It's real life, and people like real life stories, but it seems silly to kind of pigeonhole yourself in that.
It's so narrow. It's so narrow. And I'm not knocking her because I do think she's funny.
No, me too. But I get it. I think
But
that.
the last two things I've seen have been
And
really
how do guys
boring.
relate to that?
And you know what? The other thing is, I'm looking to see if there's this other comedian I told you about a long time ago. She is hilarious. She's got a show actually that I've never watched. I've only ever seen like her stand up.
A TV
And
show that's like a
yeah,
weekly
she has a show like on one of the, I don't know, HBO, Netflix, I don't know, but her stand up is hilarious. I have to think of her name. I can't think of it right now while I'm actually talking
Cummings.
to you about it.
Okay, next question. And I know we've had this before. Kind of. We've got a version of this. What's your most ridiculous feel good guilty pleasure? Mine's eating. Mine's eating. That I'm a comfort food eater, so that's mine.
Shopping, buying jewelry, doing whatever I want to do when I want to do it. I mean, that gives me pleasure and I don't feel too bad about it. Does
Hmm.
that make sense? I
Mhm.
mean,
Well, that's no, that's a feel good guilty pleasure. That is. That's a
yeah.
better answer than my food. Food's not a really a good answer, but that's not really. I'm not a
Well,
shopper.
I mean, I'm not a big shopper anymore. It's just that sometimes I want to go and I want to look at stuff and I just want to be out in the world in my own space. That's all.
Hmm.
If that makes any sense.
No, it totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Okay, if your vibe today was this, oh, this is a good one. If your vibe today was a song, what would it be and why?
Oh God, I hate questions like that because it's just so hard to answer that. My vibe today, I don't know. It's a little bit dreary out, and I feel great, but it's a little. I wish the sun would come out. So, I mean, maybe Here Comes the Sun would be good for today.
Well, there you go. Um, well, mine would have to be Gloria, just because. And no explanation needed. That would be mine because that's my vibe every day. If I have to have an old person's name, then I may as well have good songs to go with it. So,
Yes, but you have a young person's face. So there you have that.
oh, aren't you sweet? So I think that because there's a couple of really good versions of Gloria. I love the Laura Branigan version, and
Yeah,
that's
that's the one that I think of right out of the gate.
okay. So next question, except my thing just froze. Okay, what's the last thing that made you laugh so hard you cried? And it has or snorted.
Oh, well, probably when we went to see Kevin Nealon, probably I laughed so hard that I cried literally in my seat. You know what I mean? Like, for sure.
But what's really funny about that is I went to lunch the other day with these two girls, and you don't know either one. Both are neighbors. One's right across the street, and one's a neighbor that I recently got friendly with. And the newer person in my life of the two is very animated, and she's naturally very funny anyway, but she's animated. She got up to explain what happened when she walked into a room for this meeting. But she didn't just get up. She went to the front door of the restaurant, which is probably 8 tables away, and came walking in because her meeting was at a restaurant. So she was trying to tell us how, you know, her confidence.
Just reenacting it. Yeah.
Yeah, totally reenacting it. We were crying. I think the rest of the restaurant was too. It was so funny. You had to be there because that doesn't really translate. But seeing a woman in a restaurant for no reason get up from her taco, walk over there, and walk in with, what is that?
Oh, it was just my phone. I forgot to mute it. I need to turn it off.
What
Sorry.
is it? Science fiction music?
Yes.
Oh,
Sci-fi.
just wondered. But anyway, so yeah, that was funny. And the other girl I was with, she and I did laugh so hard. I mean, it was like uncomfortable hard.
Yeah, well, you laugh so hard your stomach
Yeah,
hurts.
one of
Yeah, that's how
those.
it's like, oh, I had a workout. Oh.
Um, okay, I don't know if I understand this one, but what's one feel good trend? Oh, trend. Okay, what's one feel good trend you secretly love, even if it's a little cringy? I don't know if
First
it's
of
a
all, I
trend.
don't know of anything that's on trend because that's who I am. If there's a trend, I don't know about it, right? Because that would mean I'd have to go online and know about it. I don't know of any trends.
No, musical trends, clothing trends,
Yeah, but why would that make me feel cringy?
well,
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I
even
don't,
if it makes you, that wasn't what makes you cringy. It's what, okay, forget it. Don't answer that. I don't know that
I
I
can't because
either.
it
Okay.
does. I'm not partaking in any feel good trend, first of all, that I know of. And I don't partake in things even if I think they're cringy. I don't know. I just that question doesn't work for me. It might work for somebody else, but
Okay.
it wouldn't work for me.
I'll hurry ya. Um, okay. What's your what's your personal main character moment lately? I don't know what that means.
Does that mean like picking a
Main character
character?
moment in quotes.
You mean like a main character from, say, a movie or a TV show that I feel like I'm being that? Like
Like
Cruella
Dexter?
Deville?
Like Dexter?
Cruella Deville for me?
Okay, go
Or
on.
there's a new soap opera out called Beyond the Gates, and I love Danny. Oh, I love the character Danny. She's fantastic. I am so hooked on this show.
I've
So
never even heard of it.
it's just started at the end of February. Danny Dupree, baby.
What channel is it
Anyway, it's on CBS. So
on? Huh.
that means it's probably also on like Paramount or something, or Peacock or something like
No,
that.
Peacock's NBC, Hulu's ABC, so probably
Okay. Yeah.
Paramount. Okay, well, I can't answer it because I don't really know. I don't really get it. Uh, I kind of get it, but I can't think of anything.
Well, if
Mine was
anyone watches, they're
hard.
going to know that being Danny Dupree means that my husband has left me for a younger woman, and I've gone off the rails having sex with a younger man who is not related to me, but is related to my sister's husband. And I'm also drinking a lot of vodka during the day. And I'm an
Yeah, right?
ex fashion model.
Of
And
course you
I'm
are.
now deciding to come back and take what is rightfully mine.
Well, as you would. Um, that's cute. Okay. Okay. Next is um, this is another hard one. This person was way too grown up. If you were to host a joy party, I don't even know what that means. What's on the playlist, the menu, and the vibe? I don't really know if I know what this means, but I'm going to answer it anyway. To me, a joy party would be a poker game because that's my favorite thing to do now. And whenever I host it, I kind of make it a bit of a party. Like, and it also says, well, it says what's on the playlist, the menu, and the vibe. So playlist probably means the menu and the vibe, but I have a really good time putting together a little bit of a kind of country western sort of playlist for the poker.
Ooh.
And then and I always try to have kind of like just like what I imagine card playing food would be. So junk. But so the vibe is very that's my joy party. The vibe is definitely kind of a country sort of like I can imagine in the middle of our poker game getting up and line dancing, which I can't do, but I can imagine it has that kind of feel to it. And it's really funny because we played last night in the girl's house. We played at her playlist was 70s music. And everybody was like, oh God, this is such a great change. And everybody's singing along to Led Zeppelin and whoever. And I'm like really wanting to hear about knowing when to fold them and knowing when to hold them and stuff. And so yeah, I kind of missed that, but I had a
Well,
great time nonetheless.
you know what's so funny is that joy, that word, I was actually thinking about joy this morning because the actual emotion, I mean, you don't get actual joy in your life very often. It's very difficult to plan it, and usually it's unexpected. And the moments that you've ever had pure joy, you never forget them, right? It can be seeing something of beauty, your first love. I mean, like the reason
Yeah, yeah.
first kisses don't go away. It's like the feeling in your
Mhm.
body, and you don't get that experience. So for me, a joy party means that when the people walk in, they're going to have to feel that in their heart. They're going to have to feel joy, which means to me, everything has to be really incredibly beautiful. Like beautiful flowers or just beautiful
That's
things.
part of your joy.
And
Flowers bring you joy.
and there'd have to be like a lot of champagne and a lot of pretty glasses, and like everything would have to be really pretty for the
Oh,
people to come in and actually experience joy. I don't
oh,
know, because it's like, like, so you go to an art exhibit because you're going to go see like the Van Gogh paintings, right? And you've seen them on paper and books on stationery, but you've never seen them live and in person. So you walk in and you see the actual Starry Night, or you see an actual Monet, and it makes your heart just explode because you're seeing it in a way that you've never seen it before. So that to me is joy. So I don't know how I could predict what would make another person feel
yeah,
that
because that's a very
other
personal thing.
right, other than to try to make my own like version of it and hope it works for them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good though.
Do you know what I
That's
mean?
yeah, I
Because
totally
I think it's a totally
subjective.
personal. I mean, I remember once in the 90s walking into this antique store in Montana, and I mean my whole heart exploded because I want like everything in there was perfect for me. Like You just have moments and they're usually unexpected.
Yeah, I like that. And I think that's true. I think you can't plan.
I'm
You
going to
can't
go
plan.
get me some joy today. God damn it. I'm going to go to
Yeah.
Bonds. I'm going to get that prescription. And then on the way back, I'm going to stop and get me some joy. That doesn't happen.
Well, maybe if you stop at an ice cream shop, it could happen. That would be me getting some joy. Okay, what's a wellness tip you tried that completely backfired?
Oh,
I bet there's loads of these.
I honestly can't tell you. I don't think I ever, I
Well,
mean,
here's
I don't have an answer for
okay,
that.
I'll give you one. I'm a bath person, and and whenever I'm really achy, only because people tell me to do this, I'll take Epsom salt baths because people say you're supposed to do that. Like after you go skiing, or after you're at the gym all day, whatever. And so this just happened really recently. I was really not feeling great, really achy, and just like I just wanted a really just a nice bath. Just hot water would have done me just fine, or I could have put in my normal bubble bath or whatever. But I had this eucalyptus mint or something, I forget, um, bath salts. And it was a brand new thing of it. And I opened it up and I was twisted. It took me a minute to get the top off. But when I did it, I kind of flung it at the same time. I had these granules all over my bathroom, still probably. And this was 2 weeks ago. I was so annoyed. And if anybody else would have bought me the bath salts, I would have been furious with them. But I actually bought them myself. So, but I was so annoyed. It's so backfired because by the time I cleaned it up and got the vacuum cleaner and did this and did that, I didn't even care anymore. I was so over
You
it.
were mad.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that the Epsom salt to me is the wellness part of it, and the backfire part of it is that I'm such a klutz. I couldn't even open a jar properly. So that backfired. Um, this is our last one. What's one life lesson you learned from the most unexpected place, like a rom com, a kid's movie, or a stranger on a bus, wherever?
Oh, so this is going to sound really stupid, but I've learned from watching reality TV shows like The Housewives that you can argue with people or have a disagreement and you can fix it. Like when I was young, I always thought if you had an argument with someone, that was it. Like your relationship was over. You couldn't fix it, right? You couldn't find a way to fix it. And I remember in high school having an argument with a friend, and eventually we fixed it, but it was never the same. And ultimately, it doesn't matter. I mean, I haven't seen her in, 40 plus years. But it wasn't until I started watching, I watched these women have major arguments about stuff and then approach each other to fix it, which I thought was really interesting. I never thought about that before.
That's funny. But speaking of reality shows, to change the subject for 1 second, have you watched The Traitors?
No, I don't like that show. It bores me. I find it to be more like Survivor with these challenges, and then
I've never
you're.
seen any of those shows, but I love Traitor. I've watched every country's
I
every
don't.
season
I'm not
of
interested in
Traitors.
those kind of survivory type shows where you have these challenges, and then you know the TV audience knows who these traders are, but the people don't, and then you have to sit them talk about. I just
And I
it
get
doesn't interest me at all. To me, it's a game show. It's a game
yeah,
show, and
that's what it
I'm
is.
not
But
I'm
you
not
know,
interested in it. I wish Survivor would go away.
I've
That
never seen any of
fucking
those.
show has been on the air for so long, and I'm constantly seeing commercials for it. I mean, I can skip over it, but it's like, are you still on the air? I just don't care.
I don't get it. I've
I
never
can't
seen it.
believe people are still watching that show.
Did you know Traitors, when it's on, it's in between seasons, but when it's on, do you know it's the number one show in England?
Oh, I believe it. Of course, I believe it. And Alan Cummings is like the host, and I get it. And he
Yeah,
wears
over
really
here,
cool.
he's not the host over there, and I can't think of the woman's name over there because it's
Oh,
somebody I
well,
know, but there's different countries, and
okay.
and I love
Well,
Alex Cummings.
Alan wears these. Alan's outfits are just fantastic.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? His
absolutely.
outfits are fantastic. But that's the only piece of it that interests me.
Okay, so I'm going to answer that question, and I'm going to answer it, I think, differently than it's actually worded, because it's worded, what's one life lesson you learned from the most unexpected place? I don't know that I really learned the life lesson of you shouldn't judge a book by its cover sort of thing at this particular time, but it reinforced that you can't judge, blah, blah, blah. And I was in Smith's. Do they have Smith's in LA? Ralph's. Same thing, same company.
Yeah,
And I went up to, and I have to tell you something. I looked worse than you've ever seen me look. It was just one of those days. I had been in storage. It was like 110 degrees. It was so hot in that storage room. I can't tell you. My hair is pulled back. I'm just like beyond gross. And knowing I was going to be gross, I went to storage in just nasty.
yeah.
No, but on the way home, I needed to stop and get a couple of things from the grocery store. So, and I was with Debbie. So but she wasn't like obviously with me because she's looking at things while I'm at the deli counter. So I said, "Can I have one chicken tender?" Which are like chicken
Yeah, I know.
nuggets.
Yeah, like a nugget. Yeah.
And he said, "Just one?" And I said, "Yeah, that's fine." And so I saw him put two in the bag, and I thought, oh, "Fuck it, I'll just save it, whatever." He put two in the bag, and then I asked for a quarter pound of honey maple turkey, shaved. Um, my dog was going through a weird thing of like not eating things well at all. Like I had to be
Yeah.
really like, and I know that's not really the sugar in it, and I know
Yeah,
when
whatever.
chicken
I get
nuggets,
it.
what I do with that is I take the crust off because that's really the salty part, whatever, whatever. So ask for a quarter pound, but he's back there like forever making a quarter
Oh,
pound.
I know what you're going to tell me right now, and I'm just
Then,
cringing.
and then I
But
asked for me, I wanted some coleslaw for my sandwich that I was going to make when I got home. And I said, but that was all. I just wanted it for one sandwich. Nobody else is going to eat it. And anyway, and if I would have gotten a whole big thing of it, it just would have gone to waste because I literally wanted it for one sandwich. So I said, "Can I have a small container of coleslaw? But I only want the small container halfway full." And I'm seeing him fill it up. And so I said, but then I said something. I said, "No, no, no, I don't really need that much." He said, "You know what? I want you to just take these things as gifts from me today." So,
that is a nice person.
oh my God, Debbie and I were like, "Oh my God, he charged me for a quarter pound and I had 3/4 of a pound. He charged me for a quarter and then charged me for one chicken finger thing and the same
That
thing
is
with the
a
coleslaw."
nice,
And I
nice
just can't
man.
believe he did it that beyond nice. And he was old. He was like an older man, and you know, he looked like he needed it. If you get what I mean, I can't even explain.
Yeah,
It, but
I
I
get
was
it.
like, I didn't even know what to say or think or
He
do.
thought you were down on your luck
Yeah, he
and you're
did.
better off
He
to,
had to have. I
and
mean,
he might have even thought you were homeless
yeah,
or
whatever.
struggling,
But that
and
was my
that
dinner.
is a very nice person.
What do you think the moral of the story was going to be? What do you think I was going to say?
Don't judge a book by its cover because,
No, but who did you think that he was going to be giving me stuff for free?
oh yeah, I thought for
Oh,
sure, but the minute
oh,
you told me he put an extra chicken finger in
oh,
there, I
oh,
knew what where he was
yeah.
going,
But I'm
you know?
like normally I'd be like, "Hey, hey, don't do that. I'm not paying for two. I only asked for one," just because I'm so feisty and testy and whatever anyway, and old. But I guess cheap. I guess I don't know. But it was like literally, I just couldn't even believe and that somebody's like,
That's very nice. He's a
yeah,
compassionate
yeah.
person.
I mean, what a really nice man. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to share that story. So I think it was two things. He judged me incorrectly, which is fine. And I think I judged him incorrectly too, because, looking at him, he looked like he probably should have retired 10 years ago.
He probably needs to work.
Yeah. And he was just the nicest man.
Yeah. Oh God.
No, it's reminded me I should go back in and see him. I should take him something. But anyway,
Yeah. Say thank you for your
I won't
generosity.
remember. And he probably got fired that day for being so nice and giving
They
me.
probably had him on camera doing it, and
Yeah, don't
yeah,
even.
that would be terrible.
Yeah, don't even. So, those are all the questions. I have nothing else for you. Do you have anything else for me?
I have nothing. I got nothing.
Well, it's grim here too. And I am so tired today. I'm actually going to go make myself a cup of non caffeinated, like a green tea, and watch the telly and have a lazy rest of my day because I've had a really busy morning. So that's what I'm going to do.
Well, good for you. I'm going to go to the pharmacy and get back to work.
I'd get to that pharmacy quickly because to make sure you're
Quick.
home in time for Tuesday.
That's right.
All right. Well, I'm going to see you soon. And thank you so much. This was really fun.
Likewise, same to
Thank
you. It
you.
was a lot of fun.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. And be sure to follow Gabbing with Girlfriends on here so you never miss an episode. You can also find us on social media for more fun and in-depth conversations. Thank you.